I'm not clumsy. It's just the floor hates me. The tables and chairs are bullies, and the wall gets in the way. Unknown.
Falling down is a part of life. Getting back up is living. Anonymous.
When you can laugh at yourself, no one else can ever make a fool of you. Joan Rivers.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kaitlyn Eddy, and I'm a sixth former from Simsbury, Connecticut. If you haven't witnessed me tripping or falling around campus this year, you have now, and I'm sure you will again before commencement weekend. I tend to be a very clumsy person, and this klutziness is no recent development. Because I'm the oldest of 3 kids, my mom, and especially my dad, have experienced some crazy moments with me as first-time parents. And despite my dad repeatedly asking me not to share these next couple of anecdotes with my entire school, I am very excited to do so. We have some great home videos at my house, but the one that I've never seen is of my first sled ride. That's because as my mom filmed me and my dad zipping around the yard, the sled, which had a buckle keeping me strapped in, flipped over and I was dragged several feet head first in the snow. My face has never looked quite as beet red as it did that day when I was lifted out of the snow. I'm sure that you have all heard the children's rhyme about monkeys jumping on the bed and bumping their heads, but I'm not so sure that my dad knew that that could also happen to people. When I was just 2 years old, my dad and I were jumping on the bed when I lost my balance, rolled off the bed, and landed head first into a garbage can. Yes, a garbage can. So, I had to get a little bandage around my head, but hey, I was fine. No long-term damage. So basically, the advice that I want to give to new parents in our community is, always use sleds without buckles, and helmets are your friend. But in all seriousness, thank you Mom and Dad for all the fun and crazy experiences you guys have given me. You truly are the best. Clearly, I'm prone to accidents, but I have also had my share of self-induced mishaps. For example, in 5th grade, I accidentally stepped into a jagged PVC pipe in the ground while picking up trash on the side of the road, and I was left with a huge scar down my leg. And I could never forget my freshman year when I walked onto the hill for my first day with a cast on my left arm. And unfortunately, immediately following the removal of my cast, I got a terrible case of poison ivy from our 3rd form community service trip to the 4-H farm. There was no one better to attest to my klutziness than my Grammy. She always had a ceramic figurine of some sort to break around the holidays, and she became so used to hearing my confessions that she would proactively ask, "What did you break this time, Kaitlyn?" when she spotted the guilty smile on my face. When I walk through my grandparents' house and spot an antique pieced back together with super glue, I know it was dropped with my own 2 hands. And it was in this same house where I also got my finger caught in a mouse trap and my arm stuck in a pool table. During summers at the lake house, my grandma used to insist that I play the break-a-plate game at the Bridgewater Fair so that I could get all the clumsiness out of my system for at least the next couple of weeks. By now, you may be wondering why I'm sharing all of these absurd stories with you. The answer is because they're relatable. I'm sure that everyone here can think of a time that they got injured, made a mistake, or did something ridiculous in a group setting. And that's really great because we're all humans. We are going to mess up, fall down, embarrass ourselves. But it's up to us to decide how we want to react in these moments. We can let them ruin our day and make us feel self-conscious, or we can just laugh. A few months ago, I was walking into the dining hall on a really rainy day, and I slipped and completely wiped out on the floor. And I remember Mr. Court walked up to me and kept asking if I was all right, and I just couldn't answer him because I was laughing so hard on the ground that I couldn't even get the words out to respond. So, as someone who is both clumsy and accident prone, I have found that learning how to laugh at myself has given me a more positive and more productive outlook on life. And while these stumbles may be literal falls or challenging hardships, I am confident that I will endure them all with a smile. Each one of us is just as capable of bringing joy to ourselves as we are capable of receiving joy from others in our community. Don't be afraid to make yourself laugh, even if you're the only one laughing. So next time you trip on the way to practice, give a completely wrong answer in class, or drop a plate in the dining hall, laugh at yourself and see what happens. Thank you.